As the war rages on in the Middle East between Iran, the United States, Lebanon, Israel, as Pam Bondi yesterday said she's going to refuse to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee over the Department of Justice's handling of the Epstein files. As Todd Blanche said, we are moving on from the Epstein files. We had Melania Trump, unprompted, address the nation today. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you about her connections or lack of connections to Epstein, or connections again to Epstein, or attending the same parties as Epstein, or email correspondence with Ghislaine. Wow.
First Lady Melania Trump.
With the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility.
Ethical standards? Are we aware of who you're married to?
And respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence.
So someone you're not friends with, you ran in the same social circles with, but you also emailed someone that you weren't friends with at all. You were in the same social circles, attended the same parties, but we're not friends and didn't know each other, but also emailed each other from time to time. Got it.
I'd reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998.
Same party you're in photographs with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, I'm guessing, that we've seen multiple times, thousands of times over the years, multiple photographs together. Gotcha, by chance though, totally.
This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania.
That's fact.
The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings.
Interesting. Now she's going to call on Congress to have public hearings with the survivors of Epstein once and for all. I guess she doesn't realize that her husband actually controls his own Department of Justice and could tell Todd Blanche to speak to the survivors and interview them. But from all the survivors that have spoken out, the DOJ has not even reached out to any of the survivors to get their testimony. And we do know that Donald Trump could tell his own Department of Justice to clear all of this up and their connections by simply releasing the rest of the e-files, unredacted, so the public could see them. But I'll let her finish this out with what she wants. Yeah.
Such as Daily Beast, James Carville,
who she sued,
and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act.
Yeah.
Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors.
Does she not realize who her husband is? We could make this happen with the Department of Justice. This is what the survivors have been calling for the entire time that the e-files, the Epstein Transparency Act was created, and legally require the e-files to be released. The survivors have been trying to work with the administration to address their concerns, talk about their experiences, and out the powerful men in power. And your husband, First Lady, is preventing that. Todd Blanche just came out 2 days ago and said the e-files are no longer an issue. We need to move on. Pam Bondi, the former DOJ that was just fired a few days ago, yesterday legitimately said she is not going to answer a subpoena to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee regarding the e-files. Melania, this is bullshit. You're married to the guy in the White House that can make these things happen or force Congress to force the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Transparency Act, and he's not doing so. Don't act like you give a shit about the survivors. This is about you in trying to cover your own ass and reputation and your husband's ass and reputation. Crazy work, MAGAs, you love being lied to. This is shocking, unprompted. All I know is some shit is about to go down. If she's coming out right now randomly during this U.S., Iran, Israel war, which ceasefires are being fucking violated by the minute. If she's coming out the day after Pam Bondi refuses to testify, you know some shit is about to get leaked. You know some information is about to be made public. Why would she randomly, unprompted, make this address to the country? Crazy work. MAGAs, you love being lied to. You are defenders of the three PDOs. This makes Melania look worse. This makes the administration look worse. This is crazy, crazy work.